Assalamualaikum and welcome to day number 14 of Project Zilfit 2.0. Now, yesterday, right after I finished shooting the video, it started to rain heavily. Unfortunately, now we are faced with new problems. First and foremost, the most important, the biggest problem I feel is that during last night's heavy rain, and the wind was like blowing really hard, and the water actually seeped in underneath the shutter, and it started to flow into the what would be the storage area. So that is something that I'm really concerned about. I'm trying to find a solution. Probably put an awning above the shutter, but I'm not too sure whether that's going to prevent if when the wind blows during a heavy rain that the water won't seep underneath the shutter. So I was informed that there is a small drainage right behind the shutter inside the unit, where it's supposed to drain out the water to like a manhole, right? But the problem is that drainage is very shallow. When the rain is heavy, obviously the drain will be overflowing, and that's what happened. The other way that we can solve this problem is obviously to raise the rack a little bit. What I did at the old showroom is that if you take a pallet jack and then you can simply just dock the pallet on the floor itself. So if I leave it on the floor, obviously the equipment will not be damaged, only the pallet will be damaged. One way is to put a beam at the lowest level of the rack. So that means you need a stacker to elevate the pallet and put it on top of that beam. The problem now is that my manual stacker is not working because there's an oil leakage problem. I have to send it for repairs, and I'm not too sure how long that would take. I do have half a mind of getting the reach truck, which is an automatic, like almost like a manual. It's like a stacker, but it's I think fully automated. So, but that thing costs like quite a lot. So I'm not too sure whether I want to get that right now, but we'll see how it goes. In any case, I need to solve this problem as soon as possible. The second thing I noticed was that when the wind was blowing really hard, suddenly dried leaves and what looks like bits and pieces of a bird's nest flew in, right, along with droplets of water. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, is there another leak on the roof? This is going to be really bad because I've started, laying out all the equipment. So I was just staring at the ceiling for so long, looking for leaks and trying to feel where the water is leaking from. And then I remember maybe it was from the windows upstairs, the one that I covered with mesh grill. So I ran upstairs, and true enough, I can see droplets of water on the first floor, right? But it was just, I don't know what you call it in English. In Malay, you call it tempias. So it's not like the rain came in. It's just that, I don't know, some of the rain, tempias inside. So I don't know what's the word in English. I didn't think much about it in the beginning because I thought that maybe, okay, if I cover that up, then with a plaster board or something like that, that would solve the problem. But then, after spending some time downstairs and trying to figure out what am I supposed to do with the water coming in from the shutter at the back, I went back up, and then I went to the restroom upstairs. And then I saw the floor was dirty. And I'm like, this floor is not supposed to be dirty because it was just clean, right? And then I realized there was a chunk of plasterboard that was sitting on the floor. And I said, where did this come from, right? So I looked up. So it's the top floor restroom has no ceiling, right? So you can see the water tank, and then you can see the gap or the windows at the top. And it used to be covered by this plasterboard, and apparently, I guess the wind was too strong, so it broke off and then fell inside the restroom. So now there's big hole that's not covered with mesh, the mesh wire. And now I'm thinking, maybe all these dried leaves and these bits and pieces of a bird's nest was probably blown in when that thing broke off. So I'm thinking maybe just covering that portion up would do the trick. But again, I have to somehow ensure that no water comes in during a heavy rain. In any case, day 14. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue rearranging all the equipment, and the guys, the movers, are going to settle all the other equipments in the first showroom, and they're going to bring it here hopefully by maybe 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we're going to sort out all the equipment here. So we're going to assemble everything up. Hopefully the showroom will be done. Okay. Apart from that, I'm like physically tired. I couldn't sleep last night because my hands were throbbing. It's actually swollen. I don't know whether you can see it in the camera, but it's swollen from all the moving the rubber mats. So I'm not too sure whether I have the strength to finish up all the job today. But I'm going to try. I'm a very determined person. I'm going to do as much as possible. But the thing is that the other thing I worry is that because the touch-up job is not completed yet, so I have to leave a certain portion of the showroom empty so that the paint guys can come and touch up whatever needs to be touched up. So if I start putting all the equipment in, there's no way they're going to be able to paint. Plus, I don't want all the paint to fall on the equipment. It has come to a point where timing is everything. I've asked the guys, the contractors, to look at the leaking roof. Oh yeah, so the place that was leaking that I told you about, it leaked really bad yesterday. So much so that water was dripping down and just like forming a small stream on the floor. And I just put on the rubber mats and my platforms there, and I'm like, oh my God, this has to be solved immediately. So I immediately texted the contractor and said, look, you guys need to come and fix this as soon as possible, because another heavy rain would mean that potentially my rubber mats will be damaged, or maybe it will seep into the platform somehow. So I don't want that to happen. So it's a question of timing now, getting everybody in when they need to be. But as you know, things don't always work out that way, especially when you're dealing with people. And I just have to be patient and just persevere and just push ahead. Okay, so I'm going to get to work now, and I will see you guys at the end of the day.
Alhamdulillah, the first thing that I've completed today is the IPF bench and the platform. So as I mentioned yesterday, this is right in front of the front shutter. So inshallah, if let's say in the future we want to have a competition, so the shutter will serve as a backdrop, inshallah.
I forgot to bring my water today, and working with all these rubber tiles is so dusty, and my throat itches and it's very dry. I just bought 2 drinks here. FYI, this particular place, there's no nearby restaurant or mamak. The closest is this how do you say, it's a mamak under a shed under a tree. But I still have to drive out, so I'm too lazy to do that, so I just grab these drinks.
As of right now, this is the setup that I'm thinking of going with. So this area right here, where the Olympic incline bench is, over here next to it will be the dumbbell area. We're going to have the seated pitchcle somewhere here, and then some couple of benches right here. Opposite of the SVR, what I'm thinking of is to put the double half rack, because the double half rack has 2 stations, so we need more space at the front and also at the back. And right in front of the Olympic incline bench right here, most likely I'll put the new Eleiko half rack. I just had my lunch, and now we are going to unload from the truck over there. So those are the majority of all the equipment from the old space. So today we're going to arrange all of them. And inshallah by tonight we'll probably be done with 95% of all the things that we need to do. So there are some more stuff in the old showroom, but those are just non-essential, just like gyms. Alhamdulillah, day 14 is over. As you can see, we've brought in most, if not all, of our equipment. There are certain things that are still in the old showroom. Those are just furnitures and minor bits and pieces of stuff that we have accumulated over the last 3-4 years. But Alhamdulillah, despite the rain earlier today, we managed to bring everything in safely, and we did also manage to rearrange some of the equipment or assemble some of the equipment, like the double half rack you see behind me. This is not the final setting yet. There's plenty of work to do. So tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to come again and do whatever I can to make sure that this place is ready in the next maybe another week or so. I think at this point of time, the biggest issue that I have is now space. The biggest issue that I have is still space. That's because we have things that we don't need anymore and that we couldn't sell. For example, the XF80 wall-mounted rig. That's something I wanted to sell, 3-4 months ago, but couldn't find any buyer. So I'm not too sure whether or not I'm gonna install the wall-mounted rig here, because I want to save space for new equipment that Eleiko is coming out, which I know they are in the next probably 1 or 2 months, if not the next quarter. Apart from that, Alhamdulillah, today I got a lot of help from some of my friends who came here and helped me unload, unpack, and install some of the equipment. So Alhamdulillah, thank you to you guys. You know who you are. Only God can repay you. I can only say thank you and buy you your lunch. I think that's it for day number 14. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. It's a bit long, longer than usual, because there's so much things going on. I would say so much more exciting things that has happened because of all the equipment coming in and things like that. If you like this episode, don't forget to click the like button. As usual, if you are new here, please do subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I need to hit the numbers. Hopefully, inshallah, I want to monetize this channel. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in episode number 15, inshallah. Ciao.